Welcome back. It's a big day for billionaire Jeff Bezos. He and his crew of excited tourists are preparing for their launch to space.
The launch comes 52 years to the day after the first Apollo moon landing. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is at the launch site in Van Horn, Texas, where final preparations are underway.
Blue Origin's rocket, the New Shepard, now on the launch pad and ready for liftoff.
New Shepard is ready to fly.
All right.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and his 3 fellow passengers scheduled to blast to space this morning. The 11-minute flight set to send them 62 miles above the surface of Earth, beyond the 53 miles Richard Branson reached more than a week ago. And unlike Virgin Galactic, Blue Origin's flight will not have a pilot and will look more like a traditional launch, with an upright rocket propelling the passengers on the trip of a lifetime.
I'm excited, but I'm not nervous.
Bezos joined by his brother Mark, female aviation pioneer Wally Funk, who at 82 will become the oldest person to travel to space.
I've dreamt a long time to get to go up.
And 18-year-old Oliver Damon, who will become the youngest and the first ever paying passenger on a commercial spacecraft.
It's so amazing for me to go, and I still can't believe it.
Some criticizing this as a joyride for the ultra-rich. Bezos pushing back, saying today's trip is the first step in a much larger plan.
What we're hoping to do is to build the road to space so that future generations, and maybe Oliver and people of his generation, will be able to do amazing things in space if we have practice and get good at reusable vehicles. So that's the real goal.
And liftoff is scheduled for 9 a.m. Eastern. It'll be a quick trip to space, just 3 minutes to get there. And then the passengers will get to unbuckle and experience 3 minutes of weightlessness and some incredible views out of the biggest windows ever brought to space before beginning their descent back to Earth. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Van Horn, Texas.
Well, you can feel the anticipation. And again, that launch is scheduled for 7 a.m. So we're keeping an eye on the launch all morning long, and we'll bring you that launch live when it happens on GMU at 7 on CW 30.
Time now for your weather on the 4s.
So far, what we can expect to see for There For You weather headlines today is that we expect to see more storms. Some flooding concerns still remain for parts of eastern Utah, and then we'll see that we have some mild southern Utah temperatures, again, slightly below average for this time of year, thanks to all that monsoonal moisture, and then daily afternoon storms. We'll take a look at that in the 7-day forecast in just a moment. So far right now, we're seeing cloud cover still lingering over parts of southern Utah. Here at St. George, through our Dixie Tech camera, seeing quite a little bit of a sunrise making its way in, and oof, it's nice out there, but it's humid. Look at that. Dew points at 67. That's definitely the type of air you can wear outside in St. George. Ooh, it feels downright muggy and soupy. So if you're looking to go out early right now, maybe bring a towel with you. It is going to be quite a moist one out there. And as we continue looking at temperatures in Salt Lake City for the next few hours, cloud cover remains and temperatures slowly increase into the 80s until about the afternoon hours, and we could even start to see the initiation of some spotty showers ourselves here in the Wasatch Front, as we still can see the possibility of some rain. Here, mostly, we're going to see most of the rain here in parts of eastern Utah, also parts of southern Utah. That's where most of the rain chances will still persist for us. And you'll see that that exactly lines up with where the Weather Prediction Center is saying we should see some of the excessive rain really fall for us. It's a marginal risk, so it's about 5 to 10%. So some of these storms can be heavy downpours for us. Looking at the flash flood potential, we're expecting to see in southern Utah quite a bit of the areas that we go recreate at that has the possibility or probability for some potential flash flooding. It's there, so please be careful if you're going out and about enjoying some of the slot canyons. Futurecast, we can expect to see that by the afternoon hours, we start to have a little bit more shower activity popping up for us. Starts to really pick up in intensity going towards the evening time frame, and then it starts to die down as we go into the overnight hours. And then once we look into parts of Wednesday, we'll continue to see that it remains on the light side, but boom, right by the afternoon hours, we start to pick up once again, and it can even go in towards the southern Wasatch Front and even parts of the Wasatch Front around the Salt Lake Valley. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, we could possibly see some hit or miss showers for us, and looking at regional forecast temperatures, we're expecting to see that temperatures remain around the 90s and really just comfortable overall for a July kind of day. St. George 7-day forecast, we're expecting to see temperatures right teetering that 100-degree mark for the next few days. In the Wasatch Front, same deal as we expect to see that going on for us. And looking at traffic so far right now, smooth sailing everywhere, so great for our Tuesday morning for us. Over to you, Sarah.
I know.
Thanks so much, Caesar. 5:47 now, coming up on Good Morning Utah. Heroes honored for their work to save a little girl. We'll show you how their quick actions kept that girl from being kidnapped. And dog overboard, a rescue team tracks down a dog lost at sea. We'll show you how far from home he managed to paddle. As we head to break, here's a look outside. Our Colonial Flag Tower camera in a beautiful early sunrise over our studios in Salt Lake City. We'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back, Utah. We're going to New Jersey. You know those banner planes? They're like the little putt-putt planes, and they carry a banner behind, and they say something like an advertisement or like an I love you, something like that. Yeah. So this banner plane in New Jersey had to let go of the banner into the ocean and land on the freeway.
Oh.
Are you seeing this right here?
Holy cow.
So
Not
right
the
there in
freeway,
the
but
middle
the
of your
bridge.
screen.
Wow.
Yep. So this is a highway, a freeway overpass that connects, you know, it's New Jersey, lots of water over there. And so this freeway goes over water. He had to land on the bridge because this 18-year-old pilot was having engine trouble.
Holy cow. So not only is it an amazing landing for a regular pilot,
Yes.
but a young pilot.
A young pilot. He's got to have some experience, you know. He's working full-time as a banner plane pilot, but still, I mean, just nuts. Amazing that he was able to land the plane. No damage to the plane, no damage to cars. He was able to kind of go with the flow of traffic for a minute and land in between kind of a gap in the cars. Crazy.
That's wild. I mean,
imagine
kudos to that
seeing
kid.
a plane come down in front of you.
Right.
Talk about traffic jam.
Yeah. And the skill it takes. Anyway, awesome. Everyone who helped save a girl in Kentucky from attempted kidnapping is getting honored. Now, you may remember the story. The video made national headlines. So this is the body camera footage of police rescuing the girl within a half an hour of that first call to 911. Witnesses called police when they saw the girl get grabbed from the side of the road. They gave detailed descriptions to emergency dispatchers. which then allowed police to swarm the girl
Wow.
and find her so quickly. So you see that you had Senator Rand Paul there from Kentucky giving them recognition and honor here. So not only just for the police, but for the dispatchers and then the neighbors who all saw the thing happen.
Crazy. That video is just insane, and you can hear her in that, like, calling for her dad. It's so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrifying, but amazing. They
Yeah.
were able to find her in, like, what, under 30 minutes, you said?
Right.
Yeah, very quickly.
Just credible. Okay, check this out. A dog safe at home this morning. He swam miles off the coast of Wales. So this dog hops in the water just for a swim. You know, Ollie the Springer Spaniel was then rescued 3 miles away from where he went into the water. A kayaker spotted Ollie, was able to flag down the Coast Guard and help them get him to land.
I can't imagine that you're the dog and you're just like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a long swim.
It's like, I just wanted to dip, and then I got lost.
Right,
Yeah.
well, or he might have been doing that challenge that they used to do in the early 1900s, swimming across the English Channel to France.
He was trying to
Maybe he
swim
was
the
just trying to
channel.
get his name in the record books.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, it's baby birthday time, and today, well, we have a Carlson favorite here today.
Oh,
This is my sister, Jen Christensen.
oh, she's so cute.
Yep.
Yes, I love getting to embarrass family
Oh,
members.
yeah. This was classic Jen back
Yes.
in the day, too. I mean, the strawberry blonde hair, she little tiara and her dancer outfit. Needless to say, my mom dug this up last night and
Good.
made sure we could share it with everybody today. So, my sister, what an amazing hard worker she is. And she is so successful in life. We love her and her family and her 2 boys. And so, this is Jen's birthday today. Happy birthday, Jen.
Jen,
Happy birthday.
birthday. So cool.
Now, if we want to celebrate your birthday, you can just send us a photo, too. Email us that photo to news@abc4.com and put in the subject line, baby birthday.
All right, what does Jen get for the weather today, Caesar?
Well, yesterday was a great day for rain. Today looks to be a little bit less, but let's take a look at what exactly happened yesterday in Cedar City. This was a little video of some flash flooding that occurred. You could see some of the debris that was flowing down. It really came down at a good clip. We expected to see some shower activity and some possible flash flooding, and we got it. So that's one thing to keep in mind with some of these storms. They can put a heavy amount of rain at some quick paces. So far right now, Cedar City a lot clearer and drier. Some of the cloud cover is now starting to really get away from us now and leaving us to more open skies again. All we need is that sunshine to start to see some of that rain activity pop up again in the afternoon hours. So far right now, Storm Tracker's radar showing a much drier radar for this morning. Maybe some showers hanging around some of the higher elevations over in parts of the Uintas. But as we look outside the door, as we go out and enjoy the morning, we're expecting to see temperatures ranging around the mid-70s for us for the next few hours. So it's going to be a very comfortable kind of morning for us. And as we look at our morning commute, no incidents so far this morning around the Wasatch Front. Everything's in the green, so smooth sailing. There is that one incident that popped up. We'll check up on exactly what that is in just a moment, but drive times so far right now between Provo and Salt Lake City, right around 36 minutes in both directions. And if you want to make sure that you don't get caught in any flash flooding, get to know all the alerts as they come out, download the Pinpoint Weather app on your smart device using the QR codes on the screen or through your app store.
All right, thanks, Caesar. It's July 20th. We've got some national days for you. Today, it's National Fortune Cookie Day.
Okay.
These are kind of divisive, I find. I love fortune cookies, but some people really don't like them. Also, they're usually associated with Chinese food, like Chinese food restaurants, very
Sure.
Americanized Chinese food restaurants. Actually, they originated in Japan.
Oh, interesting. You
Fun
would never
fact.
think,
Fun
right?
fact for you for this Tuesday. Also National Moon Day, the day that Neil Armstrong landed on the moon 52 years ago.
So you can guess why Jeff Bezos is launching his spacecraft today.
I mean,
right?
you know, good planning,
Okay.
right? Lollipop Day. In the Dum Dum Lollipop factories, they make 12 million lollipops a day.
In the
That's
Lollipop
a
Guild.
lot.
In the Lollipop Guild. Oh, yes, Carl, thank you. Also National Pennsylvania Day. So any Pennsylvania transplants here in Utah, welcome.
Pennsylvanians. We had this
Pennsylvanians,
conversation the other
yes.
day about what do you say from Pennsylvania?
It's got to be Pennsylvanians,
It's gotta
right?
be.
Pennsylvanians.
It's Pennsylvanians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a Pennsylvanialite.
Pensite?
No. Yep, see? And we're also getting in our ear, it's definitely not, because they will actually say, you're wrong. And if they're from Philadelphia, they'll be like, no, I'm from Philadelphia.
So we have our producer right now is from
Yeah.
Philadelphia. What do they say for people from Philly there, Taylor?
Philadelphians.
Philadelphians. All right, so there you go. We've put that to rest here. The time, 5:56. Here are the top stories we're working on for Good Morning Utah at 6. We're talking about a number of drownings and the commonality behind them all. Now on GMU at 6, water restrictions in place for a town here in Utah. Find out why they're putting those restrictions and how they plan to enforce it.
And surging coronavirus cases pushing a southern Utah hospital to its limit. What doctors are calling on all unvaccinated people to do to help get case numbers under control.
Good morning. Already this summer, state health officials say that they're seeing more drownings. Coming up in a live report, one thing these drownings have in common and some safety reminders.
Plus, we continue to see shower possibilities for a lot of the Beehive State. I'll have more on Good Morning Utah.
Live from Utah's first TV station, Good Morning Utah at 6 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Brian Carlson.
And I'm Sarah Martin. It's 6 a.m. this Tuesday morning. We begin with a silver alert for a missing elderly woman in Salt Lake City. 91-year-old Joel Gammond was last seen in downtown Salt Lake near First South 5th East. That was yesterday at 5 p.m. Police say she's 5 feet tall, 140 pounds with gray hair, blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a multicolored shirt and jeans, possibly has a handbag. If you know where she might be, please call police. And statewide, nearly a dozen people have drowned already this summer in Utah. That's prompting a renewed push for water safety. Just this week, a 16-year-old boy drowned at Pineview Reservoir. ABC4's Jared Jutnini is live from Salt Lake City with what our outdoor experts say many of these drownings have in common.
Utah State Park says 80% of these drownings were because people were not wearing life jackets. It's prompting some safety reminders from officials. The first, always check the water temperature before you get inside. Never jump in the water to save someone. Officials say you could also become a victim. Best advice is to radio for help, and of course, always stay hydrated.
Life jackets should be your #1 tool in helping you and your family stay safe when you hit the reservoir.
As we mentioned, in Weber County at Pineview Reservoir, it took crews nearly 24 hours to find the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned there on Sunday. Officials say the boy was not wearing a life jacket. It's the 4th drowning at Pineview since May. Now, we do have more safety tips on our website, abc4.com. Live, Jared Jutnini, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jared. People in Magna need to start thinking about how much water they use. Because of our extreme drought, the town of Magna is now enforcing restrictions on watering your lawn. Starting yesterday, people who have an address ending in an even number can only water their lawn Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. People with odd-numbered addresses can water Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Watering on the wrong day can land you a $25 fine for the first offense and $50 for the second.
A lot of lawns in Magna have actually gone brown. I think people are just letting it go because if you don't already have an automatic sprinkler system, it's really hard to adhere to the specific days of the week, depending on your house number, only certain times of the day. So it's really hard to follow those rules without an automatic sprinkler system. I know a lot of homes in Magna are older and don't have that.
Now, town leaders say if the water restrictions don't slow people's water use and the drought persists, they could go to emergency restrictions, which would mean more expensive rates for secondary water like that used for your lawn.
Even with an early start to our fire season, wildfire managers say we have kept our number of fires down this year. That's good news, but they say we are not out of the woods yet. They're warning of dangers left behind after wildfires are put out. The charred area left after a fire is called a burn scar. The lack of vegetation there creates an increased potential for flash flooding. Weber County's fire warden says the best way to stop those fire scars from beginning in the first place is preventing human-caused fires.
You know, it's halfway through the fire season. And, you know, behalf of all fire suppression and fire management officers out there, let's just have fun and let's just be safe and let's keep the fires spooky quiet.
Spooky quiet, that's the goal. Not only are fire start numbers currently down from last year's, but Utah's DNR also reports firefighters have been able to contain the vast majority of new fire starts within just 24 hours.
So let's check your fire and drought conditions. We have meteorologist Cesar Cornejo in here this morning. How are we looking for that today, Cesar?
Well, Brian, so far right now we see still plenty of moisture hanging around in our atmosphere. That actually is good for us because it does not allow fire activity to be as rampant if something does start. So right now we still see plenty of cloud cover here in Utah Lake. Much different scene from yesterday afternoon where we saw that line of storms just really moving through and kind of rip through quite a lot of Utah County and even make it up towards parts of the Western Valley here in the Salt Lake Valley for us. And again, as we take a look outside the Colonial Flag camera here in Salt Lake City from our ABC4 News studio, Plenty of cloud cover also. A beautiful sunrise, though, but again, southerly flow bringing in warmer temperatures. That's something we expect to continue to see, especially given the fact that this high pressure system continues to bring in plenty of southerly air with that monsoonal moisture. Oh, it's good because we haven't seen this in a while. It's been so dry, so anything really helps. And as we look at our temperatures for the next few hours, we're going to see that we're very mild. And cloud cover stays persistent. As long as we have some of that cloud cover, it could help keep some of our rain chances a bit quieter, but any break in the clouds, we'll start to see those storms bubble up. We have 2 incidents so far right now along I-15 for our Wasatch Front traffic so far. So there is some of that to be keeping mindful of, and as we look at drive times between Salt Lake City and Provo, right there around 37 minutes, normal drive times for us on this Tuesday morning. Over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Caesar. In southern Utah, church services ended abruptly when a naked man allegedly walked into a St. George chapel. According to charging documents, 40-year-old Jeremy David Miller parked his car on the lawn of the chapel, got out, stripped down naked, and walked into the church. After causing quite the scene, he left. Police later found him at his St. George home. Miller faces multiple charges now following a brief altercation at his home with police.
Just wild. And then in Logan, a school counselor is in police custody suspected of downloading thousands of images of child pornography. Logan police got a tip on Snapchat about 27-year-old Ivan Gabe Cardona. The tip claimed that he'd been sharing child porn. Police searched his apartment and say they found 16,000 pornographic images on his phone. He faces 20 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor and 5 counts of possession of a firearm by a restricted person, among other charges.
In southern Utah, a semi-truck tipped on its side off an I-15 off-ramp. This happened on the southbound Hurricane exit. That crash shut down the off-ramp for hours. Utah Highway Patrol says the 20-year-old driver was charged with speeding. Emergency crews took the driver to the hospital with minor injuries.
And in southern Utah, a surge in COVID-19 cases is filling the hospital in St. George to capacity. Administrators at St. George Regional say more people are now hospitalized for COVID-19 in St. George than the same time last year. The medical director there says both the hospital and the ICU are full. He says most of those hospitalized are unvaccinated people and encourages those not sick yet to wear masks.
What I recommend is we have seen very clearly that masks were effective. They were not perfect, but we saw very clearly over the last year that masks are and can be effective.
Now, he says even though masks are no longer required, if you're not vaccinated, you should wear a mask to help lower the number of people hospitalized.
Happening today, the Utah National Guard says do not be alarmed if you hear big construction noises throughout the day in Draper. They'll be doing some demolition training today through Friday from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. This is their post on Twitter. They say to expect blasting noises in the Draper area.
And in northern Utah, Snow Basin Ski Resort canceling some of their summer events. They're now scrapping most of the dates for Snow Basin's Blues, Brews, and Barbecue concert series. So they're dealing with staff shortages. And according to a post on the resort's Facebook page, they don't have enough food and beverage staff yet. So they'll still hold the first night of the series on August 1st, but the remaining events through September 5th are now canceled. And low water levels at Lake Powell soon won't prevent people from launching their boats. The National Park Service has started rehabilitating the State Line auxiliary boat ramp there at Lake Powell. They say it'll provide boaters access to the south part of Lake Powell during low water levels. Until it's finished, the State Line launch ramp is closed to the public. So to find out when it's done, the park recommends boaters check their website for the ramp's status before you head to the lake. We have an update on Utah firefighters battling or helping battle those massive fires in Oregon. The teams got some training yesterday in the area of Bend, Oregon. They worked with local firefighters and learned about the different fire fuel types and lay of the land. They also discussed the local weather. Lightning there is expected, and it means fire danger is extremely high.
A moose on the loose was caught on camera in Summit County. Check this out. The Summit County Sheriff's Office posted these photos. Sheriffs helped the DWR relocate the animal yesterday. Summit County says this is likely a very young moose who made its way accidentally into a residential area just looking for something to eat. The little guy wasn't hurt in the process of getting back home.
All right. Kudos to them. All right, the time now 6:09. Coming up on GMU, Canada slowly opening its borders again. See when fully vaccinated Americans can travel north in your news around the world. And catch a sneak peek of a new horror movie about aging hitting theaters this Friday. We have that and more coming up in your movie reviews. Don't forget, staying informed never been easier. ABC4 News is there for you. For breaking and local live streaming news, just download the ABC4 News app. All you do is scan the QR code on your screen. We're back after this.
This morning's GMA First Look, Prince Harry's latest project is drawing global buzz. Just months after that bombshell TV interview with Oprah, which reportedly angered the royal family, the Duke of Sussex announcing he will pen his life story in an upcoming book. The untitled memoir will span his entire life, from his childhood in the spotlight to the present day living outside the palace. The book's publisher saying Harry will give the definitive account of the experiences that shaped him. The book reportedly a surprise to his father, Prince Charles. Much of the focus of the past year has been on tensions between Harry and his family, running high since he stepped down from his official royal duties to make a new life with Meghan in America. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll show you what Harry himself had to say about how and why this is the right time to share his story. I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.